Hello everybody, my name is Ghostbit and it's been 1 month. You know what that means? Time to check on my progress of my game Toast 'em Up. But before we can begin, you're probably wondering why it says old in the bottom right screen. Well, that is because I have updated the color palette and the look of the game. First off, after the last devlog, I realized that I hated the current look of the game. It didn't have a color palette, and to me it felt all over the place. So I decided to change that by giving the entire game one color palette and recolorizing the entire game. As you can see, I chose nighttime. And that was because I wanted to make the flash and the bangs of the bullets or the enemies blowing up pack more of a punch. So I decided to make it nighttime to really flesh out any feature polish. Okay, now time for the main bulk of the video. For the entire month of June, I spent making the gameplay loop. I shall now show you how to play the game. Okay, so as you can see, the enemy is currently looping, and we can move of course, but we can't really shoot right now. In order for us to shoot, we're going to have to draw some cards. So watch what happens to the enemy and me when I draw some cards. Everything freezes. I can't move and neither can the enemy. That is because I've paused the entire game, or at least both the enemies and the player, just so I can focus on what's in front of me right now, which is 5 cards that are shaped like bullets. And like I explained in the last video, cards are shaped like bullets because that's what I wanted to represent. And as you can see, each bullet has a value. So as of right now, during this recording, I've only made just one card, and that's what you're staring at. And it's just a basic attack here. So what happens is, I want you to pay attention to what happens to the barrel, which is on the right hand screen. So we're going to select one of these cards. And voila, the barrel got filled and a value popped up. Now we have a value of 3, which means that's how much ammo we have on that barrel. We're going to go ahead and switch now to the second slot, and we're going to fill up all of these slots here. Voila. So now we're going to continue the game. We're going to discard any remaining cards. And now we're going ahead and... Okay, as you can see here, we have values now of each of our barrels. Now all we have to do is basically just now fire. And if I run out, we simply just switch on over to the next barrel. And voila. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Alright, what you saw there is the ability to cycle out what each barrel will hold. So you have up to 3 cards in the starting of the game, and you get to basically play those cards. You have up to 3 slots, so you have to think carefully as to what you're going to do. Of course, when you run out, you can go ahead and draw some more cards. If you have 2 of the same cards, you can actually stack upon each other. I'll show you right now. If we have the same value of cards, we can just stack them up and you can fill up those slots. Of course, I can do that because I only have just 1 card. In the final game, there's not going to be the same card. You know, you're going to have a lot of multiple cards here. But just because I've only made just 1 card, this is what we're working with right now. So that is the basic concept of the game. As you can imagine, different cards will have different value of games, of course. There's a whole lot I didn't finish because I only gave myself 1 month, and 1 month is not enough to design the gameplay loop. I was gonna add like some sort of timer or like a cooldown bar, so that way you can't always draw. So that way you have to draw as soon as the cooldown timer is off. Maybe I'll have like some sort of like point system or like a little like orb that will flash once you're ready to draw again. And also I was even going to add like some sort of health bar system to the ammo, so that way instead of just redrawing, you could just simply, you lose a health point and then you could just simply redraw again. But I scrapped that method because of the fact that it felt pointless, and it felt like pointless to have the cards if I had that. Again, I'm just spitballing all my ideas that I scrapped, but that's basically the whole gameplay loop that you just saw right now. Overall, I really like what I've done so far, and I've put so much work into it. As you can tell, this was my favorite month because I love making gameplay mechanics, and I had a blast coming up with this. There was a lot of ideas like the ones you just heard right now that I scrapped because in the long run it doesn't make sense to me. So I had to scrap a lot. Except for the cooldown timer, I'm still leaning really heavily into it. As for the barrel system, that's what I like to call it, that you see in the bottom right hand corner. It's not fully finished. As you can see, one number is missing. And also, it only just registers one card. I haven't created it so that way it can tell different cards from each other. So that way, let's say for instance, you have two very different cards with different amount. Like one might be like an electro ball attack. What it will do if you select that card, it will delete the current ammo slot and it will put in the that card instead. And again, like I said before, you can only stack if you have the same card type. Otherwise, it's going to delete that ammo and it's going to put in a new one. So I think this is a very cool system and it's something that keeps you on your toes. As for the enemy design, of course, that's not the final enemy design. I'm going to redesign him because he doesn't really look good. I want to make him more cartoonish. So I'm going to redesign him, of course. As for the next month, I'm going to focus on two things: enemy design and enemy, of course, waves, the wave spawning, and polish. I would like to now focus most of, if not all of my attention for this month on polishing. And of course, card variations and getting that work. That's probably good. That's probably going to be the first week or even 2 weeks. I'm going to focus on creating different card designs, of course. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been having a blast, and this whole 3 month challenge has been very exciting, and it's honestly kept me motivated to continue on. And like I said, I had a blast. I want to give a special shout out to Space By for helping me out. He was the one who was heavily into assisting me with a lot of these things. And also, shout out to all the others, Kelpfire and Spoon Sweet, for also helping me out as well in terms of like final design wise. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for watching. This is Ghostbit, and I'll see you in the next video.